Hello, my fun friends. Thanks for joining me today. Uh, this is the MandaMadeIt podcast. I am a knitter, crocheter, hand spinner, sometimes weaver, sometimes sewist, that loves scouring wool. I'm coming to you from Westerly, Rhode Island. I live here with my husband and our two children. And this channel is just here for me to share about my making and various fiber adventures. So thank you for joining me here if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. And yeah, let's move on with the rest of what I've got to show you. So first I'll just let you know this is my Soldatna tee by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. Let's see if I can, there we go. Perfect. It is, I made it. My gauge was just off. I still love it. I think it's great. It's very comfortable. It is knit out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, sport weight. I don't remember the color names, and I'll link the project page for Ravelry down below. So that's what I'm wearing. This right here is my Half Hap by Goodwin Johnson, and this is knit out of Jamieson's Shetland. Again, I don't know the color names. Some of them were, the dark brown was a Jamieson Shetland, and then a lot of the contrast colors are actually Uradale yarns. So that again will be in the project page that I list down below. So today I have a somewhat finished object that I can show you pictures of because it's like 95% of the way done and it's blocking right now. That is my Miles shirt jacket by Haley of the Ozetta Knitwear Design, I think. It's knit out of Istex Placilope, the light gray heather, I think is the color name. And that is, like I said, is blocking. It's also, I'm waiting for it to be done blocking so I can put buttons on it, but I want to make sure that I have the button bands are all like relaxed and where they're going to be, and the holes are what they're going to be before I pick out the buttons and put them on. I also have this much left of the 7 skeins that I had. So one, I am considering this to be 7 skeins out of stash for January, which is pretty good. 2, there is a pocket, or 2 pockets actually, that go on this jacket. I don't know if I'm going to put them on there or not, so I'm going to wait to make that decision until I get the buttons on and I wear it. I don't know if I'll miss the pockets. I mean, I know everybody says you miss pockets, but knitted pockets can be funky. They really can. So I'm just going to have to wait and see. But I am still considering the 7 skeins of yarn out of my stash, which makes me feel good. My other kind of completed object, I mean, they're finished, but I am in the Jillian Eve Discord from the Jillian Eve YouTube channel, which if you haven't checked her out, I would. Chances are you're here because you're from the Discord. But we are doing a year-long charity make-along for Warm Up America, and I thought this would be a good way to use up a lot of my remaining acrylic that I have in my stash to start. So this month I also just did, like, they collect 9x7 blanket squares. And then you can send those in and they will join them together into blankets for you so that you don't have to do that part. So I did make 4 of these. This used up 2 skeins of yarn that I had, so that's another 2 skeins of yarn out of stash for this month. which is delightful. So that's putting me at 9 skeins of yarn out of stash for this month, and that feels really good. Um, you know, any dent is gonna feel good. Granted, none of it's hand spun, but hopefully that will get fixed. um, so that's it for my finished stuff. I have, well, no, that's not true. I have hand spun that I finished. So I this is when it's weird being a hand spinner, because like you can get skeins out of stash, but you are constantly putting skeins into stash. So I have now added 4 skeins to stash, which is okay. I'm okay with this. It's just I'm actually not counting these, because if they are made in 2023, then I don't have to use them yet. If I want to, that's fine, and that's great. I should use them. But I would also like to use some of what I've already got, that I've already made. I will start. This is a, what is this? Wool Gatherings 100% Merino. My Distaff Day Swap partner sent this to me, and I spun it up. And I actually am very pleased with this. I haven't spun just straight up merino in a while. The colors really blended nicely and made for just like a really pretty green yarn, like mossy with little pops of brightness. But I actually really like this. I did get 116 grams, gave me 142 and a half yards, with yards per pound of around 570. So this is definitely like in the bulky range, but I think it'll make a cute hat. Maybe some mitts. I don't know. And that's okay. I don't have to know. This one was a completed skein from my, the mystery that I think is Corriedale fleece that I got from the New England Sheep and Wool, no, New England Fiber Festival, this past fall. This one, it spins up really lovely. It's just the straight Corriedale. This is the color that it is. It had some sunburnt tips that kind of blended in. There's also still some VM, because it's just gonna happen, man. Like when you hand process stuff, like you just still get some stuff in there. It's gonna happen. This was not like a coated fleece that was for hand spinners, so still wasn't terrible or anything. I have a terrible fleece right now that is just waiting for the summer for me to deal with it, so I can do it outside. So anyway, this one ended up, let me show you. I don't know if we can, it's just so pretty. This one ended up being 222 yards for 181 grams, which gives me about a little over, well, closer to 1,200 yards per pound, which is a weight that I like. That is close to fingering, but a little bit heavier in spots. I just really like this. I also have a bunch more of this left, so if I can match this, I might be able to make something with it, which would be fun. The next one I have to show is, I got, my drum carder, and I wanted to play with blending things. And I did not pay attention to ratios with this one. So when you're painting and you're mixing paints, right? Or something, like, and it's not quite right, so you keep adding stuff. That's what I was doing. So this is that same brown Corriedale from that other skein. It's got white Romney that I processed myself as well. It's got red Erie silk and soy fiber. And the problem is that I had a really high ratio of Erie silk and soy fiber together against the wool. So I definitely did not pay attention to ratios well, I learned my lesson. I actually still really like this yarn. I like the way that it looks, and it is still super squishy and comfortable, and like not at all, and for me, not at all scratchy. And it actually is definitely still my colors with all those neutrally things, earthy colors. Um, in this one, I got 201 yards for 110 grams, with which comes to an 804 yards per pound. I don't know if I'm actually doing the yards per pound grist stuff right, but we're gonna pretend like I am. This one I'm really proud of. This was my very first like play with color blend on the drum carder, and I absolutely love how this came out. My daughter really likes it, and she wants me to make her mitts out of it, so I'm gonna do that. This one has lonk fiber, LONK, and it's also got sari silk and some cheviot. I think that's it, because I didn't actually write down the blend. But it just turned out really lovely. Like, it's got all those little Tweety specks and stuff, and it is like squishy but firm. The lonk fiber is not what I would think most people would consider next to skin, like, but it's still really fun to work with, and especially, and maybe there's some merino in here too. There's something softer in here too. But yeah, so those are my finished hand spun things and my finished knitted things and crocheted things. So I also, sorry, am I shaking that? I think that's getting shaken. So now what am I making? Because the Miles jacket is gotta rock and dry, and I have to get buttons and all that. And I kind of have some plans, but I have to do things before I do those things. So I think I talked in the stash busting episode, whatever, the first one of this year, about making my husband a Gansey sweater, right? And so I started the swatch. Now I am following the information from Netloft in Alaska. They have a whole Gansey knitting program thing that they do, and it's great, and I'm here for it, and I'm following their things. But they also utilize this book and suggest that you get it for doing your Gansey planning. And this is Knitting Ganseys, Techniques and Patterns for Traditional Sweaters by Beth Brown Reinsell. So I am using this, and a printout that Netloft gives you. And it's like, you get the measurements of the person and a garment that they love, and you get your yarn, and you swatch and pick your needles. Like, you swatch once to pick your needle size, and then you swatch again with your design and the needles that you're using. And this swatch is not like, this swatch is involved. It's not like a quick little thing to do. So this is the swatch. It is 132 stitches to cast on for the swatch alone. So this has become kind of like, for now, because I'm just working on the ribbing of the swatch, and then I have like an inch of stockinette before I get to the patterning part of the swatch. Not the sweater, just the swatch. So this is kind of now going to become kind of like my focus in the easy knitting until I get to the pattern part, and then, oop, that sun is coming in on me, huh? And then I'll do that. So that is that, and I am knitting it with, I got the cones of frangipani, I don't remember, which is, and this is in the Falmouth Navy color way. They're great. They will send you a whole color sample card in the mail for the cost of shipping or postage, I think it was. Or they'll send it for free. Anyway, it was a really great way for me to have my husband pick out the color that he wanted, because they have like, 7 different blues, and that's a wide range. So he picked out the color that he wanted, and I feel good that I've started on the swatch. It still feels a little overwhelming and not overwhelming, daunting. It feels daunting to take on this sweater. It's not because I am not capable of doing it. It's just like, I don't know if you noticed, but like, this is an entire sweater that is going to be knit on zeros and ones. So thankfully my husband is not a huge man. So this is also the bag that the Knit Loft sends you when you buy your stuff from them. I thought it was really cute. Came with stitch markers, stickers, like all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm like actively working on right now. I do have a couple of other cast-ons that are potential cast-ons. Just kind of like one skein projects, like hats that I want to make, and I want a headband for when I just want to wear a top knot ponytail and not deal with putting on a hat. So that is that. A couple of other exciting things to talk about, I suppose. Well, first I'll just acquisitions, things I have acquired that I'm not supposed to acquire. That's not totally true. So here I got these add-ins for blending. This was from Hip Strings, and then I got a couple from Mittens, State Sheep and Wool. Variety of, they were just like sampler packs and mixed packs, and just to be able to do some fun stuff, be a little more creative with my sampling, blending. And I've been having fun with that for sure. I may or may not have some more fleece coming, but I have a reason, and I'll explain further in a little bit. And I also, I bought some yarn specifically for a project for my mother-in-law that she hinted at that she wanted, and so I got some yarn for that. And if it doesn't work out, I have no problem with destashing, donating it, making something for my kids out of it, because it is a cotton acrylic blend. She wants to cover up. I don't have it in the house. It's still in my car because I just haven't wanted to bring it into my house. But I will share that at a later time. I know even sheep cheese, I think it was sheep cheese, in their stone washed line. I got it on clearance at the local yarn shop, Driftwood Yarns in Groton, Connecticut. So that's that. Other exciting things, and why I have not actually finished as much or started as much or done as much knitting and crocheting as I maybe originally thought I would this month. I started a new business. CoastalWoolWashing.com is a scouring service that I am offering to anyone and everyone, but focusing on the individuals who want to buy a fleece but can't or don't want to process or wash it themselves. There are people who have allergies to the hay, and so getting a raw fleece that's full of VM could be especially problematic for them. So anyway, I don't have a minimum amount to wash fleece for people. If somebody wants to ship to me, I can do that. They will handle the shipping cost. My website does have a price list on it. That is there. I'm assuming that I'm going to get mostly locals to me. who want some help at least just getting their wool washed. You know, I can do some carding and diz off the carding and make it into roving. I have a picker. So I have tools to do a variety of services, and I really enjoy doing those things. Like, it really makes me happy to do those things. And I want to be able to do it for other people if they would like. So I changed my Instagram name from MandaMadeIt, FA. I changed it to CoastalWoolWashing. My Facebook page, you can still find me under Amanda Elizabeth, but also now CoastalWoolWashing. I have an Etsy shop as well for the washed fibers that I have excess of. You know, a lot of the times I'm getting fleeces that were free or super cheap, and I have no problem with pricing them accordingly. So there will be things going up into the Coastal Wool Washing website just for anybody who wants to take a gander and get some washed wool. Like, I'm not gonna, at this point, I'm just gonna wash it and I'll send it to you. Um, Unless you are sending me a fleece that you want me to wash, pick, and card, uh, that's a different thing. But you can buy already washed wool from me on the Etsy shop. Uh, I do have a meeting this weekend with my local yarn shop to also show them the washed wool to see if they think that that would be appropriate for their market base to have in the shop. I also have some bats that I'm bringing to show them. So this is the first that I'm showing, which is this is Romney. The base is Romney, which I scoured myself, and then there's some add-ins, dyed Cheviot, I think. I have notes somewhere, just not attached to this yet. And some sari silk, and it came out exactly how I wanted it to. It makes me very happy. I'm calling this vitamin C because even though, I mean, I guess it does look kind of peachy, but in real life it's got orange and yellow and, you know, like ruby red grapefruit kind of looking sari silk in there. So I think it's going to be really fun. So that's one bat. This is another one with that I have called a chocolate covered strawberry because it's got these little pops of raspberry looking strawberry. I mean, it looks raspberry on the screen, but anyway, I'm calling it chocolate covered strawberry. Okay. It's got some more of that brown Corridale, sari silk, soy silk, and I'm not sure. Oh, camel and some camel. So this is like a super fluffy, soft. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for somebody to spin. And then this is the last one that I made. And this is done with Border Leicester, which had different shades of brown and gray as the base. There's also some purple and like Cheviot. There's also a light blue bamboo and like a periwinkle type of sari silk. And I called this one a Midnight Mist because I wanted to. I don't know. You name things like just to be artsy. So anyway, these three things are samples of the type of stuff that I'm doing that, you know, that I'm bringing to show the shop as well to see if they would like to carry things like this. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here, guys. Like, everything feels right, but I don't know if it's going to work. And that's okay because I'm still having fun and I'm still doing this in a way that isn't draining my family's financial resources. Um, I'm going slowly. I have started a business before and it didn't go well. you know, um, it happens. Like you have an idea and you're at a certain place in life and you think it's going to work and then something happens like a global shutdown for like 3 years and you have a baby and priorities change and things get different, so you just move on and you figure out something else, whatever that, what if you want to, whatever that other thing might be. um, so I'm going to give this a shot and I'm going to see how this goes. Am I slightly terrified? Yes. Am I still going to do it? Yes. um, that's all I can say is just do it. Like if it's a anything, starting a new business, getting out of a job you hate, trying a new skill, learning to do cables or color work or brioche or learning to crochet, learning to knit. Um, just try it. Like I know it doesn't feel accessible for everybody to do that, and maybe on a large scale it's not. There's always some small thing that you can do for yourself. So anyway, that's my the end of my pep talk for you and for me. Um, so yeah, the little stash update, I kind of basically did that already. I will count myself as 9 skeins so far out for the month of January. Some skeins back in for that I purchased for my mother-in-law's project, but I will, you know, I'll get more complete numbers for the next episode. Um, I don't know. I don't know. What else? What else? I don't know. What else? Oh, you know what? I have been watching, and this is weird because I don't know if people care about this, but yeah, I watch like a ton of knitting related, fiber related podcasts, right? But when I'm not watching those, I also don't watch TV. Like I'm one of those people that if I put on the TV, it's got to be something that I don't have to pay attention to. I don't with wearing hearing aids and yeah, there's closed captions and I do have a Bluetooth adapter that I can now connect to my TV, but I just don't want to have to follow and pay attention. I just don't. It's not, if give me like a dead body show, any one of those dead body shows, CSI, Law and Order, Bones, Castle. You get the gist of where I'm going with NCIS. Um, you know, 48 hours, the first 48, first 48, like those types of things I enjoy because you don't have to pay attention. The formula. There's somebody's dead, and then these people are going to figure it out through whatever methods, um, or not if it's the first 48, because sometimes they don't. But I have also found myself listening to some of the crime podcasts, or YouTube channels, I guess, like That Chapter. I have been enjoying, as well as 10 to Life. But that's only if you like true crime stuff. And, not everybody has that weird interest in those things. But I do. So, I do have a book that I really wish I could get on an audio copy of, and that's The Valkyrie's Loom by Michelle Hayer Smith. And it's the book it's the book for this first quarter in the book club through the Jillian Eve Discord, and I really, really, really want to read it, but I don't do well with reading physical books anymore. Like if I start reading a book and I try to read it at night before bed, I am up until 3 or 4 in the morning until it's done, and that's just not healthy for me with having to get up and take care of human beings. Um, and I will get distracted by from a physical book. So I don't know. I need to get somebody to read it to me. uh, but anyway, I thanks for joining in. I'd love to know or hear what you guys are working on. Are you a fiber related business? What do you do? What do you enjoy doing? Are you doing a stash down? How are you keeping track? Have you been able or feel successful in doing that? You know, want me to wash a fleece for you? Let me know. You can email me at coastalwoolwashing@gmail.com. But I am going to say goodbye because I have felt incredibly odd and awkward for this whole taping. So I'm just gonna let it go and put my awkward, odd self out there, and I'll just chat with you guys next time. Okay, I hope you're doing well and having a wonderful time in your making and your life, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.